Whiskey, yeah, whiskey rules. Okay. So, how's the sound, guys? Okay, hi. Great. So, today we're having our usual coffee. I'm not a big fan of whiskey, unfortunately. And by the way, today I would like to show you something very interesting. So, this is a 7.62 by 54 millimeter rounds used by Soviet machine gunners. It's usually used in PK machine gun, PKM, and it's also used by snipers, those that use SVD rifles. And we have a saying that machine gunner is a sniper's best friend. Why? Because they pretty much share same rounds. So you might ask yourself, why is it silver? I mean, why it's not like, it doesn't look like a usual round. So the thing is that this round was found in our barracks, and such things are made by soldiers before they are getting demobilized. And this means that apparently those soldiers were conscripts. So again, I think that in Hostomel they still used conscripts, and one of them made such a souvenir for himself. So yeah, I just wanted to show you this because, you know, we found a lot of random souvenirs in Hostomel, and our sergeant major sergeant, not sure how you call him. So our chief sergeant of my brigade found a lot of souvenirs, including Ukrainian flag with our patches attached to it, and all kinds of souvenirs that Russians prepared for themselves. And unfortunately, or fortunately, they weren't able to take those souvenirs with them to Russia. This means that they didn't simply retreat from Hostomel as they claim, but they were kind of in a hurry, trying to, you know, escape Hostomel as soon as possible. A conscript is a draft soldier. It means that he has to serve for like a year or a year and a half, and it's a must. So again, I wasn't able to find a settings where I can switch to slow chat, unfortunately. Yeah, silver bullets kill werewolves, but this bullet is not really made of silver. It's made of lead, and it's just covered in, you know, this beautiful silver paint. Not sure where they found that paint. In Hostomel. Putin is dead in a hospital. No, I don't think so. I would be happy, and there's a very good sign. In case Putin dies, I will be drinking for 3 days, literally. So There was another gossip about their chief commander of Russian army, Gerasimov. Um, at first, somebody claimed that he was kind of wounded near the area of Izium on Donbass, but those claims are kind of controversial, and we didn't receive confirmation about that, unfortunately. But let's keep our fingers crossed. How is my brigade doing in the east? So it's doing well. In fact, I would like to send you some videos. Probably in the next video, I will make some kind of, top videos made by my second press officer, Max, from Donbass. There's a lot of nice videos made by our UAV operators as well as Max himself regarding destroying invaders, destroying their vehicles, and regarding the precise and professional work of our artillery. Are there plans to take back the Crimea? Yes, there are plans. And funny thing that here in Ukraine, we have this kind of joke. Every time we are talking about how to fight Russian invaders, or how to take back the Crimea. I mean, in the streams, every time we're talking live. So there's always a person here in Ukraine that makes a comment. I know exactly what you have to do to win this war. You have to destroy the bridge in Crimea. And everybody is like, oh my God, this is genius. So the thing is that unfortunately this bridge is not really easy to destroy. Have you heard about Aiden? Slava Ukraini, Героям Slava. Not sure what you're talking about. I gotta learn more about it. Are the troops getting energized by the Russia's May 9th celebration? Yeah, why didn't Ukraine destroy the new bridge to Crimea? We gotta have some better missiles for that. Unfortunately, we don't have Tomahawks. I think Tomahawks could be a great help in this case. As for 9th of May, I think that they had this plan, at the beginning of this invasion, they had this plan to capture Ukraine, to overthrow our government, and, keep this parade on Chrestiatic in Kiev. It would be very symbolic and stuff. Yeah, I think they failed. They understand that they don't have enough troops and enough of forces, and of course enough of time to finish it until 9th of May. On the other hand, they are decorating such cities as Kherson and Melitopol with random communist colors and stuff, and unfortunately they are trying to turn those Ukrainian cities into some artificial state-like stuff like DPR or LPR, so-called, and yeah, and keep the referendum. Of course, they will bring a lot of journalists. They will bring like 10 or 15 old grandmas and have that referendum on camera, as they usually do. Please don't spam me with messages because it's bad. As for the Kherson, we are counter-attacking at that direction. Um, I cannot tell you more about it because this process is ongoing. Um, Aidan Kozak Gundi. Not sure what you're talking about, guys. I'm sorry. I gotta learn more about this subject. What happened to the 1,000 soldiers from Ukraine? Again, not sure what you're talking about, guys. Um, have you seen Finnish squads? Um, no, I haven't seen them. I have seen Chechen battalion of Sheikh Mansour. Chechen battalion that fights alongside with Ukrainian army. They are very brave. They arrived to Ukraine from all around Europe. Those are great people. Um, they are they have escaped from Chechnya in the 90s, and they had their government in exile. And yeah, they returned, and they are currently fighting together with Ukrainians against Russian invaders. Very brave, and I can say only best things about those Chechen people. Um, Unlike those dogs that serve Kadyrov, they literally come from different universes. As for Azov Steel, yesterday we had information that the process of evacuation of people have started because there's a lot of wounded people as well as a bunch of wounded soldiers. I think that they will be successfully evacuated, and of course, uh, rest of our army. I mean, rest of our armed forces that keep controlling Azov Steel will remain there. There's a question about my rifle. It's just a usual AK-74, nothing fantastic, nothing fancy. What is known about the dolphins in Sevastopol? Uh, no idea, man. Okay. Do you have the world's most accurate artillery brigades? Yeah. Funny thing about artillery here in this war specifically is that, of course, we have to save our ammunition a lot because it ends sometime. And Russians have a lot of that ammunition. And the difference between Ukrainian and Russian artillery, of course, Russian artillery is also very, very good. It's kind of precise, but they spend a lot of their ammunition shooting at civilian structures and houses. And this makes absolutely no sense because all this ammunition could be used. Well, I mean, I'm talking from my perspective. I'm glad that it wasn't used on our army. But imagine if they used all this ammunition on us. So I think this would be a catastrophe because they spend a lot of ammunition on other targets that are not important. Of course, they kill a lot of civilians. Unfortunately, civilians that we cannot save. Again, unfortunately, but we don't have some kind of magic blanket to save every civilian. Unfortunately. As for Ukrainian artillery, we are using very, very precise fire. We are targeting their commanders, we are targeting their supplies, and I think we gained some success in this regard. Do you use Polish RPG 76 Mosquitoes? Unfortunately, I can't tell you much about Polish RPGs. We are using the US made RPGs a lot. We call them RPG-1, and I think they are called PSRL. That's like simple RPG 7V, only kind of modernized. It has a greater range of precise fire, effective fire, and yeah, it's very good. And both lefties and righties can use that RPG. And of course, you can attach all kinds of scopes to this weapon, which is again very good. Do kidnapped civilians get back to Ukraine? Okay, so they do return to Ukraine, mostly in exchange for Russian soldiers. So it's like when we exchange captured POWs from Russia in exchange for Ukrainian POWs. Sometimes we receive civilians instead of our soldiers, which is again very strange. Why are Ukrainian women so hot? Good question. Good question. It's rather a statement than a question. So, when do you think Russia will launch the full-scale attack on the Donbass? Like a week ago. Are you expecting an increase in strikes and assaults in the next 6 days as May 9th approaches? Yes, we do. We expect that Russians will attempt to capture as much territories as possible. They are not very successful in this regard at this point, but we expect that they will increase amount of their attacks. AK-74, not 47. Those are two different assault rifles. Okay, I don't have this slow chat in settings, I swear. I searched everywhere, but I wasn't able to find it. Okay, Cossack Gunji was captured in Mariupol about a week to 2 weeks ago. He uh, was wondering if I had any more information on him. Okay, I will learn this. I will learn this information and tell you more about it. Do you think Ukraine is going to win the war? I think they're going to win the war, but I guess it is going to be hard to do so. But I hope you guys or defeat the Russians and take that. Yes, of course, we believe that we are going to win this war. There's no sense to fight at all if you don't believe in your victory in the first place. Um, and uh, and have Polish tanks started to operate? Yeah, they did. We have received, I think, 200 tanks from Poland. I think those are T-74 tanks. Um, I gotta check that information, but I think that I'm correct. And of course, we have a lot of crews that are trained to use those tanks. Yeah, Poland has always been our like one of our greatest allies in this war from very beginning. And again, I'm still using that Polski helm, that helmet that I received in 2015, and I still have same helmet. So yeah. Okay, settings, live chat, slow mode. Okay, settings. I don't even have settings. I swear, guys. That's a shame. What is your role in the army? I'm a press officer. I was a sergeant and now I am a press officer. Доброго вечора, пане Михайло Герасименко. Радий вас бачити. Слава Україні. Will Snake Island be liberated? I think that eventually it will. Um, I think that you already know that a command center or headquarters were destroyed on the Snake Island recently by precise strike performed by our UAVs and our artillery. What can a normal person do to help out? A lot of things, including, simply commenting and supporting with your comments, because it's very important for us, even psychologically. So all kind of support is very appreciated by Ukrainians, and I mean it, like all kinds of support. Of course, what we need right now is mostly, artillery and aviation, but comments will do too. What country has the best MREs? I think France. French MREs rule. They are huge, packed with all kinds of yummies, and my advice is to try those French MREs. How bad was the attack on Kiev when the UN Secretary General was visiting? So, there was a missile strike. One of the missiles have hit the civilian building, and I think as much as 6 persons were brought to hospital. I think they're all wounded, but we have no lethal cases. It's information as of 2 days ago. Did you hear of is Israel? Maybe. So the most recent news that I have heard about Israel is that um, uh, Russian Foreign Affairs Minister Lavrov was answering the question regarding denazification of Ukraine. And what he was asked was, how can you denazify Ukraine, or something like that? How can you denazify Ukraine if Ukrainian president is Jewish Ukrainian? And Lavrov said, again, he's a minister of foreign affairs of the largest country in the world. So Lavrov said that Jewish are the biggest anti-Semites in the world, which made Israel very angry because, well, literally, I got up today, I read those news, and I had no words to express what I feel. Like, it's incredible, but I feel Israel, and they said that Jewish people didn't kill themselves during Holocaust, and they demand apologies from Russian Minister Lavrov. And I totally support them because, you know, when you play with such terms as, you know, claiming everybody Nazis and stuff like that, one day you will fall in the pit that you created for somebody else. What do you think about Russians, about their morale and skills? So Russians are still using the old tactic that they have developed in 40s, maybe 30s, that is literally trying to bury their enemy under a pile of their own bodies. And they use this tactic of uh, artillery wall, which is before capturing a position, they have this wall of artillery fire that is approaching the enemy, and their infantry is following this wall of fire. And it didn't change since 40s. So some of them are trained, have good morale and skills. But the fact is, most of them died. Um, so, what's my opinion on the Switchblades? Are they good on tanks? So, yeah, we have information that Switchblades were already used, and I've had a video, but thing is, I cannot confirm that specifically a switchblade was used in order to destroy that tank. As soon as I have received that video, I mean some kind of, you know, video that clearly shows the use of switchblades, I will share it with you guys, of course. Is it true that the May 9th parade is planning to force UAPOWs to parade? With love from Bermuda. Much love to Bermuda. And I think it's possible. For example, in I think 2015, on the occupied territory of Donbass, specifically in Donetsk, on 9th of May, they already had this kind of parade. Maybe not specifically on the 9th of May, but around that time. So they had a parade with the Ukrainian POWs, and you can check those pictures. They are all over the internet. Is Putler down with cancer? We all hope that he is, but we believe in confirmed information. Did you think you would become this popular? Well, let's say publicity means that I'm doing my job well. On the other hand, I never thought that there will be a day when I won't be able to answer all of the messages, okay? Because I receive a lot of messages from you guys, as well as, a lot of messages from our supporters and donators. Um, and unfortunately, I'm literally not able to answer all of them. So I'm trying to send voice messages because I don't have to type much. And I'm very sorry if your message is unresponded. I swear I will literally spend hours to reply to everybody because I know how important it is. Can you still do 25 diamond push-ups? Yeah, I think I can still do them. I gotta check though. Right after the invasion, I stopped working out in the gym, obviously because it's closed. And I hope that after the war, I will return to my favorite gym because I miss it so much. Can you do a MRE review? Uh, yeah, I can do that. Okay, you know what? I will make a review of Ukrainian MRE. Okay. Uh, in 2016, we've been to Rapid Trident mutual military exercise near Lviv, and a lot of NATO forces participated as well. And we used to, exchange our MREs with our friends. And there was this guy from the United States, and he wanted to, change his MRE for Ukrainian MRE. And there's two kinds of MREs in Ukraine. One is like old MRE, and the new one is much better. It's much tastier, and in general, it's much better. Okay, because there's this heating device, um, the same as American MRE has. There's this heating device, and those portions, those meals, they come packed in those how you call it. So previously you had to take a can, open it with a knife, and try to swallow it because it was awful. Uh, After, I think, 2016, we have received new and better MREs created for the army that is fighting. Okay, after all of those reforms in our army. So those new MREs are much, much better. That's what I'm trying to say. But he changed that American soldier changed his MRE for a portion from Ukrainian MRE. And there was this porridge. I literally hate it. I don't know how you call it in English, but some kind of grain. Well, in Ukrainian, it's like perlova kasha, okay, and it sucks. So he was like, "Oh, guys, I want to change my MRE for one of yours," and I'm like, "Don't do that!" And somebody covered my mouth, and they gave him this portion because in American Army, in American MREs, you have only one portion per meal. I mean, like you have one MRE per breakfast, another one for lunch, and another one for dinner, right? In Ukraine, we have those portions packed in a bag. So we gave him one portion, and we haven't seen him ever again. Um, Oh, and another interesting question. I gotta check if there's surströmming in Swedish or Norwegian MRE because this question is bothering me a lot. Okay, when you win this horrible war, please would you let us host you guys for a charity football match in the UK? Uh, of course, I think that this is possible and very appreciated. I think that after this war is finished, we will meet all kinds of friends from all around the globe because uh, what what makes me happy today is that Ukraine has like a lot of friends, like everywhere, and I think this is beautiful. Um, what are the latest Russian killed in action numbers? Uh, I remember that there were like 22,000, but I didn't follow that since that day. This information is couple days old. Why is Ukraine not attacking Transnistria? Okay, so we don't attack here in Ukraine. We mostly defend. That's why. Um, attack Russian territory in the north. We are not fighting Russians to become Russians. That's why we are not attacking Russian territory. Of course, I know that a lot of you guys and a lot of our guys would like to see that country burning, but we are not fighting the dragon in order to become the dragon. I think that this is wise, okay? Um, do you have okay? Did you encounter any Russian POW who actually believed in Russian propaganda? I think most of them do, for some extent. Some of them believe that Ukrainians are Nazi. Some of them believe that I don't know, that we created those birds that spread biological weapons, and stuff like that. I think that to some extent they all believe in Russian propaganda. To some extent, even we believe in Russian propaganda. I mean, that very first day when their helicopters attacked Hostomel, for example, I thought that shooting those Ka-52s was a very bad idea because they were supposed to be armored and indestructible. Because this is what we've been told on Russian TV. And yeah, so I think that to some extent we all, I mean, our world has fallen a victim to Russian propaganda, including their soldiers, of course. What kind of ballistic protection do you use in the field? Which level? What plates? So basically, we have steel plates with some kind of um, cover. I think some kind of ceramic cover. They are kind of heavy, but they are good. I think it's the. I'm not sure if this level exists in your country, but here in Ukraine, it's sixth level, six plus, including um, modules that protect shoulders, neck, and stuff. So those heavy body vests are used mostly on the positions during, not patrols, but when you have to stay in the same place for quite a while, and the biggest threat for your life is fragments. So yeah, you gotta wear something like that. And if you have to have an opportunity to move faster and be more flexible, you gotta wear something like a plate carrier. And for that purpose, I think that our special forces use ceramic plates. They are much lighter, but on the other hand, they must be replaced in case of damage. And as soon as a fragment or a bullet hits that plate, it's literally damaged, and you cannot use it anymore. How effective or helpful are volunteer soldiers? They are both effective and helpful. There's already a big number of those soldiers operating here in Ukraine. We have a lot of battalions, I mean, like national battalions, like Canadian, Brazilian, American battalion. So they worked, so they are grouped based on their language, for example, which makes this communication easier and much more effective. And of course, they are a big psychological help to Ukrainian soldiers and Ukrainian civilians in general, because we literally feel this support from all around the world. Can you compare Ukrainian army before 2014 and now? Okay, so that's two different worlds. In that army that we've had before 2014, because of huge corruption that we've had, because we've had a minister that was literally Russian citizen back in those days. And we've had this dictator Yanukovych who fled to Russia. He was famous, not famous, rather notorious for, his huge palace with all kinds of, jewelry and expensive things. He's had a huge park for his cars that are very expensive, like and because of that, our army sucked pretty much. So in 2014, uh, I think if Russia had this intention to launch a full-scale invasion in 2014, I think that it would be a disaster. Uh, our soldiers were underpaid heavily, and we didn't have armored vests and stuff like that, like common things we didn't have in the army. And yeah, but because of our volunteers that volunteered to our army, enlisted to armed forces, National Guard that was created after this revolution, uh, we gave uh, armed forces opportunity to improve and develop and uh, protect our country. And since that time, our army literally developed into something unique, I would say. And of course, as I have already mentioned, we have spent like 8 long years learning how to fight specifically Russian troops. That's why we are so successful. Have you tried the Russian food ration? I know that it's ration, not ration. Yeah, I already learned it due to you guys. So I didn't try it. I think that once I mixed my coffee with Russian water because it was too hot, and some other time I took some of their sugar, and that was it. I swear, because I feel disgusted. Even thinking that I can taste this crap. Um, Once the orcs are defeated, will Ukraine apply for NATO membership? Um, I think it's possible, and I think it's a great idea. Not only because NATO is, an alliance offering protection. They also offer a lot of development programs, a lot of reforms. I think that it could be a great idea. And of course, we have a huge experience of cooperating with NATO forces, uh, specifically such countries as Canada, Poland, United States, of course, and a lot of other countries. We even had this mutual Ukrainian, Lithuanian, Polish brigade here in Ukraine, which was kind of experimental brigade. It wasn't a big brigade, but it was very successful, in my opinion. Why are there very few optics on Ukrainian rifles? No red dot reflects sights. Uh, the answer is simple because you can't buy those scopes or aims anymore in Ukraine or our neighboring countries because everything have been purchased already. As for me, I have given my aim to another guy who needed it more than I did, and I'm very successful using the default mechanical aim. One time I even managed to shoot down a drone from the range of 150 meters. Unfortunately, it was Ukrainian drone, but let's keep it a secret. Um, Okay. When this war is finished, I'm coming to your beautiful country to help rebuild. And I will be looking forward to meet you here personally because I think that a lot of people will arrive to Ukraine with this intention. And I predict that a lot of organizations and construction companies will arrive to Ukraine as well. Uh, and of course, there will be a lot of volunteers and a lot of representatives of other armed forces and rescuers who will help us demine Ukraine because we have huge amount of mines that require to be removed in the future, and I think a lot of time, maybe years, will be spent removing those mines. When do you see this war ending? Uh, I'm not good, with making such predictions. I bet on a couple of months, uh, maybe maybe autumn, maybe right before the winter. But we will see. I still think that some kind of unexpected crazy stuff will put an end to this war. No surströmming there. Okay, thank you very much. I had to check this information because it's very important. Um, do you have thoughts on all the recent fires in Russia that seem to be targeting military and oil facilities? Yeah, I thought about it from time to time. What is the heaviest weapon you fired? So, when I was a sergeant, I was a commander of APC called BTR-3 here in Ukraine. This is one of the most advanced APCs that we have. It has 30 millimeter cannon, 7.62 millimeter machine gun, automatic grenade launcher, 30 millimeter grenade launcher, and two laser guided missiles, anti-tank missiles that are attached to this combat module. Um, and yeah, I think that probably this was the heaviest weapon that I fired because I don't know. I miss those times very much. I was in infantry together with my guys. Yeah, and I made some blogs back then. And this BTR-3 is amazing. Yeah, you gotta, I don't know, next time you're in Ukraine, you gotta check out this machine. It rocks. Um, it seems that Ukrainians have higher levels of education than Russians. Could you confirm this or agree with this? Yes, I can agree with that because we are constantly learning, and I can tell you just from the way we have developed since revolution that happened in 2013 in Ukraine. We started fighting for our rights. We started learning how to improve our country. um, we have traveled all around Europe and Asia, of course, and Americas and Australia, trying to find, some best practices to implement here in Ukraine. We are very very learning people here. So yeah, I think that we are also, I'm not sure whether we are much more educated than Russians, but we are pretty much educated here in Ukraine. Are viewers supporting you through PayPal? Yes, they do. And they support me a lot. I have spent a lot of their donations on vehicles for our friendly units, and currently we are trying to find a drone. I'm talking about Hotel Evo 2. It's much better than DJI because it's not recognized by Airscope, and you can launch it pretty much everywhere. So yeah, those are great, and of course, big thanks to all the people who support my channel. It's very important for me, and you have no idea how much I don't know, nerves you have saved me in terms of, you know, finding fuel for our vehicles, because it helps us to, you know, to be very fast in different areas, and that's very important for us as well. So thank you very much. It's Chernobyl or Chernobyl. So in Ukrainian, it's Chernobyl. In Russian, it's Chernobyl. That's the difference. Love your sarcastic humor, man. How is Hutch doing? I believe he died from AIDS, or something like that. I checked Wikipedia, and I found this information, unfortunately. As for Fuch, he's my dog, and he's doing very well. He gained some weight uh, during these months, and yeah, he's well fed. Of course, he's not running around. I mean, he's not running outside as much as we used to, but yeah, he's doing well. And of course, I miss him very much. How many attacks have happened at Kherson airport now? So that airport in Chernobyevka that you're talking about, uh, there was a lot. I think that I stopped counting after 12th attack that happened like month ago, uh, and it stopped being funny, I think, after fifth artillery strike or something like that. Um, but I think that this stuff keeps repeating. You know, knowing Russians, I think that it keeps repeating over and over again. Are you a foodie? Do you cook? What is your favorite meal? Uh, yeah, meal is one of the things that brings me pleasure in this life. I cook Thai rice, Thai noodles, and sushi, of course. Um, what do you think about the threat of general mobilization in Russia at May 9th? And do you think Russia will evacuate occupied regions after a peace agreement? Um, I have no answer for the second question because it's possible. But again, there can be no peace agreement until those territories are returned back to Ukraine. As for the mobilization, I think that this very idea of mobilization in Russia puts Putin to, a big danger. Uh, Окей, slow regime. Ерік, я не можу включити повільний режим, тому що у мене немає цих настроєк. Я клянусь, я шукав. I was talking that I cannot find those settings for the slow chat, unfortunately. Please don't lose Odessa. I think Odessa will be fine. We have our Marines stationed in Odessa. It's well protected by all kinds of weapons, including heavy weapons. And yeah, it's one of our biggest strategically important cities. And of course, there's a lot of people in Odessa that will fight. I know for sure. Greetings from Luxembourg. Hope that in-laws served well. They really did, and they do. I think it's probably one of the most favorite weapons in our territorial defense. NATO would like to join you. Do you accept? I think that we will accept if NATO wants us to join. From what I know, but again, this is not confirmed information, but from what I know, they are not in a big hurry, in accepting Ukraine for some reason. I'm not a politician and I'm not an expert, so I cannot tell you exactly what's the reason, but they don't, hurry to accept us as members. And of course, they cannot accept countries with ongoing conflicts like Ukraine, Have you encountered any Russian woman soldier, female soldier? No, I didn't. Yeah, that's a good question because, for example, here in my brigade, we have a lot of women that don't just serve in headquarters, but they also lead our soldiers. We have let's say we have commanders, like we have women among commanders in my brigade. Taking back Crimea is fantasy, but your thoughts on freeing Donetsk, Luhansk oblasts? Well, they can be liberated, of course. Fact is, Crimea requires much more forces, and I think it requires a lot of surface-to-ship kinds of missiles. We have to destroy their fleet in order to take that peninsula. As long as their fleet is operating around Crimea, they will have a lot of support from their fleet, from their navy, and we have to deal with that, of course. That's why liberating Crimea is kind of tough, but again, it's possible. Judging from what we've heard right before the invasion, things like, you know, Ukraine will fall in just 3 days and stuff like that. I think that there's nothing impossible for Ukrainian army. How can Polish, Lithuanian, and Ukrainian troops understand each other in a joint brigade? It's easy if they all speak English. That's pretty much the idea of NATO armies. You gotta know English. What do you think about Belarus? Why not strike Volhynia in March? Um, Belarusian army wasn't prepared to fight pretty much. We have a lot of information that their troops were not prepared, both psychologically and in terms of, you know, supplies and stuff. We have a lot of information about their soldiers who wanted to, you know, give up as soon as they encountered as soon as they have encountered Ukrainian soldiers. And we have a lot of uh, records on YouTube. I think that you can find them. I'm not sure if they are uploaded in English, but you can find them in Russian. Okay, so our soldiers calling Belarusian soldiers, I think our intelligence rather calling Belarusian soldiers and talking to them, all kinds of soldiers. I mean, their officers, their soldiers, their sergeants, and they're talking, and they say, "Dudes, we know all the information on you. We know where you live and stuff like that. We don't want you to fight here in Ukraine." And those guys are like, then tell us what to do. What should we do in order to, you know, to give up, because we don't want to fight Ukrainians. And those guys are giving them instructions and stuff like that. So I think in the beginning of March, uh, Lukashenko wanted to make this mobilization, and he wanted to mobilize his troops and create a bunch of battalion tactical groups that were supposed to be involved into this invasion. And he wasn't able to find enough troops to form those battalion tactical groups, because like literally 99% of his army refused to participate in this affair. How effective was the training you got from the USA? Is it responsible for your success? It played a huge role in our success, but the main reason for our success is that we acquired a lot of experience in fighting specifically Russian troops since 2014. But as for training, it played a huge and very important role. Ukrainian army, for example, my brigade. I'm not talking about all army, but for example, my brigade uh, have been trained by Canadians and Americans, and I think there was even Israeli instructor. Of course, Israel is not a NATO country. I think I'm correct, but yeah, we've had all kinds of trainings, and they all were very important for us. And our commanders know everything about military decision-making process used by NATO countries. They know a lot about TLP, all the procedures, all the protocols used by NATO countries, because again, the main idea of those NATO standards is being able to cooperate with all the countries, with all the armies from other countries within this NATO alliance. And yeah, judging from the results of our mutual military exercises, Rapid Trident 2016, 18, 20, and 21, yeah, we are pretty much successful in this regard. Is it difficult to drive British equipment on the wrong side of the road? Good question. No, it's not difficult because it's helpful. Is it possible that Russian people are helping sabotage things inside of Russia to help the Ukrainian people? It's not only possible, I think that it's rather a fact. And for example, our intelligence claimed officially that there's a lot of helpful people in Russia that want this war, that want to finish this war as soon as possible, and they, let's say, give us their little help from time to time. What did Ukraine do with 22,000 dead Russian soldiers? So, some of them were buried, some of them were put on a fridge train. At the very beginning of this war, we had this huge fridge train full of Russian bodies, and we wanted to send this train back to Russia. I think they've already lost like a couple of thousand troops, and they still claimed that there were no losses at all. And we wanted to bring their soldiers, their bodies back to Russia. Of course, they refused, and we had to bury those bodies because those fridges used a lot of gas or oil or gasoline, how you call it, petrol. Okay, so they used a lot of fuel, right? And we had to bury those bodies. And one day I think that we will return them back, because we already have enough of fertilizer for our soil. And have you had problems using DJI drones and AirScope? Yes, we did, of course, because AirScope is registering our drones as well, and it makes them very good targets. I mean, the operators of those drones, very good targets for Russian artillery. So we are trying not to use DJI drones a lot. And yeah, those OTEL drones are OTEL, they are much better, of course. But of course, nothing can compare to good old TB2 Bayraktar. Tell us about General Valery Zaluzhny. Okay, so as a serviceman, I cannot tell you much things about our generals and stuff because of subordination. But I can say that a lot of Ukrainian soldiers, as well as Ukrainian civilians, simply love this man because he's great. I think it's fair. Have you been in any combat in this war? Yes, I've been to a combat in the very first day in the morning during the attack on Hostomel, and there were a bunch of other shootouts around Kiev. Let's call it this way. What breed is Fuch? His name is Fuch, not Hutch. So Fuch is a stray dog. I have adopted him from a pet shelter in 2017, and since that time he is my best friend. Again, I cannot put the comments in slow mode. This YouTube thing has defeated me, literally. I cannot do that. I can't find correct settings. My favorite movie, I think, is Terminator 2. It's the greatest movie of all times, of course. Do you think Ukrainians will continue speaking Russian? From what I know, already a lot of Ukrainians stop speaking Russian because they understand that this language issue was used by Russia a lot in order to make Ukrainians fight each other. That's why we understand that same language for everybody makes it easier. Okay, and a lot of my friends, Russian-speaking friends, already switched to Ukrainian language. Again, there's a lot of Russian-speaking soldiers in Ukraine, and they are great guys. Nobody's gonna blame them. And in case somebody wants to say something against Russian-speaking Ukrainian soldiers, I'm gonna kick his ass. Okay. But there's literally no soldier in Ukrainian army who wants to have Russian language as a second language in Ukraine, even despite the fact that the soldier is speaking Russian himself. Okay, because we all know why this war started in the first place, because some crazy maniac said that Russians are being repressed in Ukraine and we're gonna attack. And literally not a single lawsuit have been issued by repressed Russian-speaking people in Ukraine or in Russia ever. Okay? So yeah. Are tanks obsolete? That's a very good question. I think that tanks still have a huge role on a battlefield, and whenever you see a tank on a battlefield, you feel helpless, literally, because tank is a very hard target to destroy. For example, near Kiev, our guys were they spent a couple of weeks, let's say, under a constant artillery fire, and there was a tank like 1,000 meters from them, 1,000 meters away from them, and they couldn't destroy this tank using their RPGs. On the other hand, this tank was able to see them because it was equipped with those not the night vision, but heating thermal vision cameras that were purchased in France. And because it was equipped with thermal vision cameras, this tank could attack our soldiers from this distance without any risk for its crew. So yeah, tanks are still a great weapon, but you cannot use tanks to capture cities. It's just let's say it provides a cover with its fire, but you cannot use tank to capture city because it's the job that is usually done by infantry. And infantry is, of course, it will always remain the main power, the main force used, to capture territories, capture and control territories, of course. But in this war, we made a bet on UAVs. And again, in one of the upcoming videos, I will send you a lot of links to some great videos. There are drones that drop bombs. There are drones that, and I'm talking not about Bayraktars, I'm talking like modernized, like DJI drones, okay? Drones that were modernized by Ukrainian volunteers, so they can carry bombs, smaller bombs, and drop them very, very precisely. There's a video where where such a drone drops a bomb that literally hits a car that was stolen by Russian invaders, and those invaders inside this car die. And there's a lot of such cases and such videos. So yeah, I think that our soldiers are crazy in terms of using those drones. They kick ass. Okay. Do you have female snipers? Yes, of course we have female snipers. One of my best female friends is a sniper, and the reason why we use women as snipers a lot is because naturally women can see more colors than men or something like that. They have much sharper vision than men. That's why they are good snipers. What do you think about the German Gepard anti-aircraft tanks? Will they help? I think they will. I think they will because, yeah, the Russians still use a lot of their aviation. And by the way, as of today, I think we've had like 194 Russian airplanes destroyed in Ukraine, which is kind of cool in my opinion. Almost 200 Russian airplanes. Oh, and currently I can hear a siren of an air alarm here in Kiev. Can Ukraine replace T-72 to M1 Abrams? I think it's possible, of course. For example, in T-72 we have smaller crew because we have this automatic loading system. We don't require a person to load shells. On the other hand, I saw a lot of Abrams tanks used by armed forces in Iraq. Okay, and I think that we can master those tanks as well. So yeah, I think that it's possible. And of course, Abrams has much better armor, and it's much more superior tank. Um, how is Grandpa from Romanivka doing? So Grandpa Savkovich is doing just fine. Tomorrow I'm going to Hostomel, and I think that I will bring him those meds that he asked for. And I bought those meds using your donations, which is, again, in my eyes, it's very good. Is Ukraine technically at war with Belarus? Um, Technically, we had information about some of their soldiers or volunteers that participated in Ukraine, in this invasion in Ukraine. Technically, let's say, kind of. I mean, if killing invaders puts us technically in war with Belarus, I think that, yeah, probably, because their soldiers were not supposed to be here. Okay. Um, how do you see further relations between Ukraine and Russia post conflict? So, um, in the end of every war, there is this moment when both sides must realize that the war is finished. In Ukraine, I think, of course, Ukraine will win this war, and I have no doubt in that. Um, we will have to realize that the war is finished. We were victorious, and we don't have to kill Russian invaders anymore. Uh, Currently, I'm not ready to accept this fact, and after the war is finished, we will talk more about this. Okay. Uh, Currently, we are in the mood of fighting. We have this psychological, um, how you call it in English? This psychologically, we are prepared to fight this war. Okay, and after it's finished, we will have to switch into another mode. Um, as for our relations, of course, we will demand reparations from Russia for all those plants, infrastructure, factories, and other things that they have destroyed. They have destroyed a lot of civilian houses. Um, so I think we will have those reparations from Russia. And I think that we will never have. It's not like we've had like friendship, with Russians. Because one way or another, Russians always treated Ukrainians as lower race. Okay, they always called us like younger brothers and stuff like that. Even despite the fact that Kiev was center for civilization in Eastern Europe, while there were bears and wolves howling in the forest that later became Moscow. Okay, um, but still they have this imperialistic kind of mentality, and they always treated us as as lower race. uh, you probably know our history, and you know that they tried to enslave Ukrainians a lot in 18th 17th century. You probably know that we've had a lot of wars uh, against Russian invaders. And I mean a lot. First war against Russia happened 1,000 years ago, and and it finished in destroying of in capturing of Kiev back then. So we were never like friends, but because we all were in Soviet Union, we have this Soviet idea of friendship of nations and stuff like that. Uh, we, for some reason, we thought that we were kind of related people, okay? Um, because a lot of Russians have relatives here. We have a lot of relatives there, uh, not including myself. I don't have no relatives in Russia, thank God. And same thing with Belarus. In fact, I think that we are more related even to Belarus than Russia, because our mentality is so different. Um, so I think that we will never be in same relations as we were. But I think that it's going to be very different, because we are going to win this war. That's very important, and we will see. Вітання Старському від колишнього добровольця полку Азов 14-16 років. Слава Україні від Хорватії. So this man from Croatia, he was a volunteer in Azov in 2014 and 2017. So big thanks and much love from Kiev. So to toggle on the slow mode, I gotta click settings and click live chat and toggle on slow mode. I don't have settings, literally. There's no such button here. Do you have any funny moments during the war? Plenty of them. I think after the war, I will write a book about all those funny moments, because there's like plenty of them. Some of them are funny, some of them are less funny, but there's plenty of them in any army, I think. How do you even read any of these when they are flying up the screen so fast? Well, I'm doing my best, dude. I'm doing my best, bro. How often do you shave your head? Pretty often. Yeah. How did you learn English so well, and do you speak any other languages? Yeah, I speak Polish, Russian, English, and I wanted to learn Farsi, And of course, I speak just a bit of Italian because I've been to Italy when I was 11 years old. Is it true that Russia lost over 25,000 soldiers? I gotta check this information, but you gotta understand that we don't count those losses of the Russian side that we cannot confirm. So there can be more. Can you get the civilians out of Mariupol? Yeah, as I said, we have information that there is an ongoing evacuation process, and hopefully, yes, it will be successful. Question: have you had a chance to use anti-drone jamming guns from Lithuania? Personally, I didn't. I used my good old AK-74 for that purpose, and but I know cases when they were actually used and they work very well. That's all I can say. How's it in Kiev at a moment? So literally like 10 or 15 minutes ago. Okay, I think that I will have to end this stream very soon. We've had like air alarm like 15 minutes ago, and from time to time we are having those alarms during the day. Most of the missiles are being intercepted by our jet fighters and our anti-air defense. But again, some of them, like that one that hit that civilian building like a couple of days ago, unfortunately, some of them reached their targets because Russians are launching a bunch of those missiles at a time. So, guys, my phone is dying unfortunately, and I think I will have to finish this stream. And uh, okay, so we were talking almost 100 minutes, which is very cool. Thank you all. I'm Thank you very much. And as for the skipper, there's a question about the skipper. Yes, he is feeling fine, he's doing well, and he continues hunting Russian tanks, of course. Thank you very much, guys. It was a pleasure, and I appreciate all of your comments, all of your questions. I hope that I managed to answer at least some of them. And of course, you can leave your commentaries in the comment section to this video. I will do my best to respond to those comments as well. Again, I never thought that it would be so hard to reply to all of your messages, but I'm doing my best, and I'm sorry if your message got lost somehow. I'm very sorry for that. So thank you once again, and we will see you in the next one. Operator Starsky, Slava Ukraini.